Hi there, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Rising. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to your monthly astrological forecast for August 2022. And just a quick reminder for you out there, if you're ever interested in getting a session with me, you do need to go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or you can follow the links in the down bar below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And of course, engagement helps this channel out a lot. So what is going on when it comes to your month of August? Well, we'll start with the Sun, bringing special focus, highlights, attention, enhancement, and support to your second house of earned income, employment, your values, and your valuables, Leo, through the 22nd of the month. And this is a time where your working environment, your income streams, and anything that has to do with your salary and just sort of life on the job is going through a massive environmental and atmospheric shift. We see a lot of new support coming to you in the form of soft transformations to the way you are earning your money. The Sun also brings an opportunity for a lot of you to get more value for the services or the products or the time that you spend with these income avenues, with the job, with anything that is going to help you increase that salary on a month-to-month basis, but also at the same time give you a chance to be more visible to spaces, people, and roles that will give you more value as well. So keep an open mind with professional conversations and financial conversations, especially in the first 3 weeks of this month, because there may be some upgrades and updates that you didn't know you were eligible for. When it comes to the transition after the 22nd, the Sun moves on into Virgo, which is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, your peer group, anything related to helpful third parties in your life. And the Sun is going to be here through week 3 of September. And with the Sun in Virgo, a lot of you Cancerian people are going to notice you're getting a bit popular when it comes to the regional community that you inhabit, whether this has to do with the town, the neighborhood, or maybe it's the region with which you are working professionally or creatively. Very good words are being spread about you. And you are also going to notice a lot of people going out of their way to sort of get more involved in a lot of projects and pursuits that you have been maybe doing or handling in a very solitary way that could be enhanced, right? The Sun, attention, enhancement, and support could be enhanced with more hands on deck. This is also a time with the Sun in the third house for a lot of you to get yourselves out there in a more local way. You know, whether you are trying to promote yourself, something that you really wish to see take off, or get some kind of backing or support, whatever kind of backing or support it is, social, financial, or again, purely artistic or creative. This is a great time for publishers or any kind of performers as well. This is where you are getting a chance to have a bit of a day in the Sun, or shall I say a month in the Sun. Just remember that with the Sun in the third house, you are going to also need to be more socially available because you're going to be in higher demand. We have Mars, the planet of action, passion, energy, and that obstacle-clearing driving force in Taurus through the 19th of the month. This is your 11th house of friendships and social networking, anything relating to your platonic support system, the guys, the girls, your fellows, as well as your highest goals and ambitions. And once again, we have this big focus on more involvements from the village, from more people. The Mars energy in the 11th house is all about breaking down barriers to you being able to have the support system or the friendships that are the strongest, whether it's attracting a whole new crew to yourself or bringing the people that already are true blue even closer, and even getting to start a lot of new adventures with everybody here. People really show up for us with this aspect. You may also find that it's through the help of a few friends that some kind of long chased or long sought aspiration that you have that maybe you have put off into the future, or maybe you have been long awaiting to reach fruition, is going to be accomplished with more of a strong crew and squad at your back in a much faster way. However, as I probably said last month when Mars moved into Taurus, pay attention to what's going on when it comes to how Mars can also chase the fickle, the fair weather, or the false friends out of our lives. And you may also find that over the course of this month, those who are not really true blue, or those that are maybe flaky or insincere, shallow or superficial, may be driven out by Mars when it comes to our social support system. After the 19th, we've got Mars moving on into Gemini for the duration of the month. And this is your 12th house of your past, privacy, the hidden zone, anything relating to old business and things that are kept out of plain sight. With Mars in the 12th house going well into September, a lot of you Cancerian people are going to be confronting blocks and burdens that have been around for a long time. Things that ultimately were maybe taken on or imposed in the past. Either things that you took on voluntarily or things that were imposed by other people. These could be in the form of decisions that were once made, 5 years ago, decades ago, things that were brought upon us, even in a generational way, right? This might not even be business that has to do with you, but things that were passed down through the family, or old stories in your life that may still have too strong of an influence in how you are able to move or make your decisions in the now. Mars is all about that obstacle clearing driving force, so be prepared. We're probably going to be cleaning out a lot of closets. We have Venus, the planet of love, favor, popularity, and affection in your sign through the 10th of the month. And whenever a planet is in our sign, we get the wild card blessing of Venus, or whatever that planet is. In this case, it's Venus. And you are a love and affection and popularity magnet during this period. You are really being forced, not forced, you have free will. You always have free will with astrology anyway, right? I hope nobody thinks I'm a fatalist astrologer. If they do, they should leave. But with Venus in the first house, we are getting a chance to change the way things are attracted to us, as well as what is attracted to us. With Venus here, you are also becoming a stronger influence, both socially and professionally. Even though it's more of a romantic energy with that Venus there, the charisma and the influence that carries from that charisma can make a lot of systemic changes in all circles of your life. Pay attention to where you want to be getting the attention you're looking for, and where that attention that you're receiving is also putting you in a position of power to make the changes that you wish to see more consistently in all environments of your world. After the 10th, we've got Venus entering Leo, which is that second house of earned income, employment, values, and valuables. And whenever Venus is in an income area, we are talking about some serious, easy money. Because Venus in the second house, we are actually getting more money for doing the same, if not less work. This is also a time where that favor really comes into play, where you are getting a chance to custom design the ideal role or the ideal shift or the ideal professional setup or the ideal professional structure for yourself. This could be a great time for job interviews, suggestions, or maybe even renegotiating or initiating new negotiations about benefits or compensation. With Venus in your second house for pretty much the entirety of the second half of the month, you are going to be in a position of not only considerable power, but it's going to be a lot easier to get what you want than you thought. So it'd also be a great time if you work for yourself to raise your prices. We have Mercury, the planet of communications, speed, and productivity, in Virgo from the 4th of August through the 24th of August. This is your third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments. Again, that peer group. But with Mercury in the third house, this is a time of speeding up the fruition and the completion of a lot of contracts, agreements, and commitments that you have sustained until this point. Now, when we talk about speeding things up to fruition, it's about getting things over and done with, cleaning our plate. It's not so much dealing with old business entirely. We could also be speeding up the development or speeding up the evolution of a lot of commitments, pacts, and contracts in progress. We're not just cutting and clearing them away like Mars in the 12th house. we are fast forwarding them so that they can get done, they can be completed, and everything has the payoff it needs, but we are getting rid of it at the end of the day. And we're cashing out in a very happy way for it as well. Mercury in the third house can also be a great time to speed things up that have become sluggish in our lives as far as contracts or agreements or negotiations that we have been having with others that have been taking just way too long to hit any pay dirt. And you're going to find that August acceleration is on your side. Finally, let's close up with our lunations, right? We always close up with the full moon and the new moon. The full moon of the month is going to be in Aquarius on August 11th. This is your 8th house of shared resources, passive income, as well as intimacy and your self-employment earnings. This is going to be a very hot full moon for the Cancerian people, because whenever we have a full moon in the 8th house, we kind of go nuts. This is a time where everyone lets their hair down and we are getting a chance to go wild, whether this is something that you are doing with a current romantic partner or maybe you are single or available to somebody new. There is a very strong sense of an erotic excursion that is going to get a chance to take place as we go into mid-August for all of you. Keep in mind that a full moon always releases boundaries and inhibitions, and so we want to make sure we are keeping our heads on straight. We don't want to lose ourselves in it, but this is also a very freeing aspect that allows for us also to become more raw and more vulnerable with the people we want to have the most raw and vulnerable intimate connections with. Finally, we also have a new moon, which is occurring in Virgo, in that third house of communications, pacts, promises, commitments, again, the peer group. And this is occurring on the 27th of the month. And this is opening up a window period where, we are getting a chance to plant new seeds or have a new beginning with a new sense of community. But I want to make sure that it's understood that this is about collaborative community, productive community. So this is really more about setting up a working club, however this is going to apply to you, whether this is happening in your professional life, maybe it's a spiritual path or practice, maybe it's a special interest or work group of some kind, but this new moon is setting you up with a strong core, a strong foundation that is also giving you not only the camaraderie here, but an opportunity to take a lot of projects or a lot of pursuits in your life that have stayed small to bigger places. So that is what I've got for you all. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, you can go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.